Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're looking at doing a little bit of bokeh or bokeh, however you want to pronounce that, for a scene. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm just going to go ahead and just tip the scene just sideways just a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to actually place our camera in this place. So what we're going to do, let's go to view, align view, and align camera to view. So with view, align camera to view right there. Okay, so potentially what we want to do is make a bokeh effect in the background, which is where we're blurring stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this up just ever so slightly. Just to about there, I think. Oh my gosh. Right. Just to about there. I'll keep it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on an object within the middle of the frame right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this up just to make sure that this works, so that we have the right amount of space. So we're going to go to depth of field, focus. Let's go focus distance. Select the cube. Right there. So now we have the cube selected. We're going to go ahead and just place the f-stop down to 0.1. And then what I'm going to do in the background right here is we're going to get some emissions going. So UV spheres, right click shade smooth. We can put G, just pull that back. Now you'll notice that this starts to blur out, or at least should do, as we're going along. If you've not already, change your cycles engine to, change your render engine to cycles. We should have blurred objects in the back right here. So in theory, this should be perfect. So what I'm going to do is change this to an emission. Yep, so we got the emission right there. We can go ahead and change the color of the emission as well. We'll go for a nice red for this one, nice orangey red. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a glass in the middle right here. So this is going to blur as soon as you get rid of the default cube. So if we press delete, we now have no focus object within our scene. So what we're going to do, let's go to add, and we'll go to, you can go to circle. You want to make this glass pretty big for what we're doing. So S to scale. We're going to go with edit, and we're going to press F for fill, E for extrude, and essentially we're just building glasses again. We've done many tutorials on building glasses in the past. I'm just going to move my phone out of the way. I'm kind of like at an awkward angle here. So yeah, with the glass, you want a little bevel around the outside, so let's go E for extrude, scale that in just ever so slightly, and then E for extrude, scale in. Let's see my notes real quick. Yeah, so it's practically, I think it's a brandy glass that we're doing. So let's do G, just bring this up just slightly. E for extrude, scale this in. And then we want quite a wide neck compared to a wine glass. So let's go in just there. I think we should have that a little bit more smoother, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to press G, just bring this up. E for extrude, scale this in. Just press G, just bring this down just ever so slightly. E for extrude. I'm just going to scale it in just slightly, and then E for extrude, and we'll start going up with this. And we'll start getting a little bit wider as we go up, because this is only a small stem. And then when we get to the actual glass itself, where we're keeping the booze, that will be a little bit wider as well. Let's go with that. And then I'm just going to go E for extrude and just scale this outwards. As such, E for extrude again, let's scale this outwards. And you want to be slightly over the base of the glass when we're doing this. Just about there. And then we're going to go E for extrude again. Kind of a funky little glass that we got going on. And then we're going to go in for this glass. So E for extrude again. And we'll go in. you're going to want a little bit of a lip right here. So we're going to go E fret extrude, leave it where it is, scale it outwards just slightly. And then E fret extrude, bring it up again. E fret extrude, give it that bevel. And then E fret extrude, leave it where it is, scale it in. And then we're going to go to X-ray mode right here. And you want to press 1 on the number pad just to go to the side. And we're going to go E fret extrude, bring this down. E fret extrude again, bring this down. S for scale. And then we're just going to go E fret extrude, S for scale, E fret extrude. And then we're just going to go ahead and scale this in. Just at the base right here. Just make sure the glass is a little bit thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. Just gives that nice little bulb look. And we should have something like this. So now we'll go back to object mode. It's a little bit squared off, but we're going to go with shade smooth. And then we can come over to the materials tab right here. Click new. And you're going to go with glass BSDF. I think it's glass, yeah. Okay, glass BSDF. Turn down the roughness. And now we've got this nice little tumbler glass that's going on. So what you want to do at this point is get a plane just in the background. S for scale. Make sure your camera and your little lights at the back have got plenty of room to move. So we're just going to go ahead and just elongate this, essentially. And I'm going to go ahead and press G and just move this camera back just ever so slightly, and G to move the camera upwards as well. And maybe rotate just to get that nice little effect going on. Come on. Might take you a while to do this. It's a little bit fiddly, but then you can press G and just come back in just ever so slightly. Now, the glass itself is out of focus, so what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to put the glass into focus. So we're going to go depth of field again, go to your focus on object, click the little drop tool, and then select the glass that you've just made. Make sure that your f-stop is completely back as well. So we're going to have to do some little jiggery with the lighting here as well. So what I'm going to do, let's pull that back. I'm going to take this light right here. Let's delete this. I'm going to go ahead and add the studio lights, which is a plane, which is elongated. So add a plane, elongate it, press G, bring it up. So you should have something like this. We're going to rotate it just to the side, just ever so slightly, and then we're going to make it an emission. So come back to your materials tab, we'll go to principal BSDF and emission. So with this one, we're going to press G, bring this across. So you have some sort of light source there, and we're just going to turn the strength up as well. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take this as well and place it on the opposite side. So now you can see that we have this nice shiny glass. You can see that it's round. And what we need to do now is the bokeh effect. Now, you can do this in one of two ways. You can have a light shining down straight down, or you can have lights at the side. It's totally up to you, but the lights at the back need to be different. So to make them pop a little bit more, we'll go to the world settings. Let's go with colour and just make everything black in the background. So once we've got to this part right here, we need our little luminous pieces. So we're going to press G. Let's bring this up. And you want to make sure that the lighting is a little bit darker than the lighting that's going to be at the back. So with our bokeh effect, we know that we have that UV sphere at the back right there that we've clicked all the way up here. We need that to be lighter than this. So let's press G. I'm just going to go ahead and just bring this up. If your camera can't see the bokeh at the back, just click on the camera itself, and what you want to do is go to end under lens and just elongate it. So let's see, this is going to take some little fiddling from your side. So let's go to our bokeh on this side, if it'll ever let me. So if I just turn it onto that setting, it should be fine. So this is our little light, if you guys can see that. Just about there. So let's go ahead and scale this up a little bit. Let's press G. I'm going to bring it forward. We'll see what happens with that one. Let's press G and just bring it down just slightly. The idea is to shift it, duplicate all of these so it looks like something's fallen in the glass from the background. So it's kind of just like this nice little kind of artistic bokeh effect going into the glass. Let's go ahead and put some of these down here. Remind me of little Space Invaders. So yeah, it's kind of an idea of you're looking at a glass that's being filled. Just put them randomly in places. And then what I'm going to do is take this little floor that we have going on right here, and I'm just going to pull it back. So press G, and then you can just pull that back. It just gets rid of that little red line that's going on at the back there. Just makes it more central. So, just kind of a nice little artistic effect you can do. Totally up to you with what you'd like to do with it. Just thought I'd show you this one. Thought it was pretty cool. You can also add different colours in there as well if you wanted to. So, in the end, your project should look something similar to this. Obviously you won't see the grid reference and stuff when you click render, but this is kind of like a nice little lighting effect. I think it works better with photography, to be honest with you, than it does with Blender. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, like the tutorial, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.